And now your mama knows.
You know what I'm telling y'all not to do. I'm telling y'all not to run in and out the house playing.
Let me just do that real quick. All right.
What would you need to watch the cat for if you close the door? Like I told you to do. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Y'all act like y'all not understanding what I'm telling y'all to do. So the next thing I'm about to do is make y'all go in the house. So what is it going to be? You're going to listen to what I'm telling you to do, or you going to go stay in the house?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is real parenting. Just so you know.
Now go close my door.
For all you parents out there that don't know how.
Yo, seriously, kids act like because one day little friends come over, they don't understand what you tell them to do.
Right, I feel you.
I'm only going to repeat myself once or twice, and then after that, I just shut the whole party down.
Mike, what you munching on, bruh?
Uh-huh.
What you munching on?
Eggs. Hot dog bun.
Damn.
And then for Mike, that means there's going to be instant gas. His weak constitution. Because apparently, according to Mike's body chemistry, eggs is also a dairy product.
That's right. Soon I won't be able to eat none of that.
Who, you?
Yeah, man. I'm getting my gastric bypass. Well, not gastric bypass. I'm getting my bariatric surgery done on in about a month.
Yeah.
So you gonna turn to skinny Justin?
Now I'm not even trying to be that dude. I'm trying to literally I'm trying to lose the weight and then maybe 2 weeks after go right to the gym.
Start. So just don't be skinny, Justin. Like the dude where it's just like you look mad skinny, but then the skin is drooping and stuff.
I'm not trying to be that dude.
After you got the surgery.
I'm definitely not trying to be that dude.
The surgery's fine. Yeah, it's like the surgery's fine, but you got to work it out too to make your body match up.
Right.
It's actually a good thing if you start hitting the gym as soon as you're physically able to, because you'll probably lose the weight and like line up.
That's the goal. Look,
I was in the pool, man.
Hey, you like a dick. And I'm not
saying I look like yours.
Probably. Just a little
wow. A short joke and a big joke all at the same time.
Hey Franco, if yours had a face, it'd be like dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
probably.
Yo, what if Franco's had my face on it?
In a perfect world, none of us would never know that.
I don't think that I would have had the track record I had if my little man was making that face every time I whipped it out.
Yeah, Franco would have many kids.
Now look, this into the Franco verse. You know, everything's different.
I might not have no kids. In that case, they're like, whoa, put that thing away.
Hold on.
Is that a thing?
Are y'all going live?
We are live. We've been live for the past 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Franco gave a lesson in parenting and everything.
Well, at least I got a chance to jump on. So, are you doing topics and stuff or what?
Well, I just want to talk about. I just want to pretty much update on COVID.
Huh?
I wanted to kind of update on COVID, where we're at, where it looks like it's headed again. There's been word that some WWE superstars now have it. So, yeah, shit is happening.
Well, it's the world we live in. The new normal, baby.
Yeah, but somebody said we'd be done with this by now.
I said what I said was before April is over, things was gonna go back to normal. And being that Georgia, North Carolina both reversed a lot of stuff, technically the loophole worked because things went back to normal somewhere in the
No,
universe.
because we
The
never
loophole
went
didn't
back
work,
to
brother.
normal.
Things never went back to
Normal is being able to leave your house without a face mask and be assured you ain't gonna catch that shit. That is far
I'm just
from
laughing
normal.
at his face because he's trying hard to he's mentally trying to make us accept the loophole.
I know.
Bro, that is the loophole. Don't get mad at me.
What
Oh, my God.
Hey, hold on, wait. You had True on here, and True was like, man, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
It was down here,
okay.
people running around like nothing. The two girls he talking about walking around the street with Raven suits on. So anyway, let's move on.
It's funny you
So
bring
what
up
else
True
y'all-
because he just wrote in the chat hashtag told you so.
Hashtag using his words. He held my point. How about that, sucker?
No, he
Anyway,
said people was
but
outside acting a
actually-
fool. He wasn't agreeing with you.
Either
But
way,
the
I
funny part is-
used some of his words.
Technically, the
But you
loophole doesn't work because nothing went back to normal. They just started opening up slowly.
Bro, they
Nothing
was
went back to
going
normal,
listen,
and it
at the end of
wasn't
the day-
over.
At the end of the day, they was back to doing the things they was doing before it happened.
No, because
Listen here,
wearing a
North
face
Chabaldus,
mask is not
okay?
normal. Being 6 feet away from the person next to you in the same room isn't normal. None of that is
Dude,
normal.
if you can still go to the mall, get your hair cut, go to the gym, hey, it's good enough.
You couldn't do all that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do
Yes,
all
you
that.
could. Yes, you could.
The only thing they opened up down there, they let them go to the salons. They couldn't go to gyms. Gyms
Yes, they
weren't open
could.
yet.
Yes, they could.
Gyms weren't
Yes, they
open.
was.
Gyms
Yes, they
weren't
was.
open.
Yes, it was.
No, they wasn't.
Don't do it, Franco.
It wasn't.
Just- all right, let him do whatever the fuck he's
Let him
doing.
Why y'all like ganging up on me so much, man?
It's what we do.
I
It's
realize
what we do.
It's not just you. Because if any one of us says some dumb shit, we would have gained upon them.
Nope, no, you wouldn't. You would just let Franco attack me.
I am the attacker.
That is true. Franco started it.
Everybody here.
I know I was just chastising my kids, but whose kid is in the background? It's like it's being murdered.
That's not yours?
Well, I do got like 800 kids. You know, that's my house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Lena's,
I just heard. Ah!
yeah. It's like daddy daycare over here.
There you go.
I hear it now.
Yep. But yeah, let me close my door real quick so I can jump in on this a little bit, and then I gotta jump back outside.
Yeah, let's see if we get on track a little bit. That we've had our little.
Yeah, right. Franco, you're supposed to be the guy that always brings us on track. But no,
Well, we
today
didn't get rolling yet, man. We didn't get
Today-
rolling yet.
Yeah.
no, today you being foolish. Talking about what if my face was on your thing? Going down.
I believe you asked
What are
if
you
my
doing?
face.
I know.
You're not getting in the pool no more? What you mean? No, put your bathing suit back on. What does it look like? Sorry, man. I just looked my little niece walking out the thing naked. I'm like, I want to play with the dog now, so I'm taking off my bathing suit.
Right now, put it back on.
Oh man.
You can play with the dog in clothes.
Yes.
Right?
It's highly
She's
recommended,
like,
as a matter of fact.
need to be nude for this.
Oh, by the way, Mike Franco, if you get a chance, check out the stream. I've added you guys to the side panel.
To the what?
Hey, let me put your stream on
To the side panel.
Facebook.
Yeah. Like, load up the stream. Give me some views. Help my algorithm, as they say.
Why is she taking off
Where'd you
her
say it?
bathing suit? She talking about I want to play with the dog. I'm like, what? Put your stuff back on. How do you share this thing? Where the heck
Right
is
next
it
to you,
shared?
brother.
Screaming bloody murder. Jesus Christ.
Oh, there it is. No, I'm not actually you. Could you check on her, please? Oh, it's crazy over here. God damn, boy.
Got a whole porch and all that area to play.
Yeah, how come you ain't come get me so I get in the pool?
I came to your house. You ain't answered the door.
I was probably in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, wow.
All right,
Look at
so
that nice little patch of gray coming.
yeah, I'm still waiting to go gray. I literally have 3 gray hairs, and most of the time you can't even see
I had 3 gray hairs once.
them.
I had to shave. I had it all down here on this side. I had like a thick patch. Now I got some coming in on the side.
Why you say you had a thick patch like it went away?
Because he cut it
did
off.
It went away. Yeah, because you don't see it. I cut it. It's gone. It's gone. Damn it! It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Can't escape it, Mike. You're an old man too.
So anywho,
no, I ain't hit that 4-0 mark yet. No.
Oh my God! Yeah,
so you
is
ready
still
to
young.
move forward with this?
Young son, bitch.
Thank you.
All right, I just tagged you.
Cool. So, I did want to talk about what is going on with COVID virus. What is happening in the nation we like to call United, even though we're far from it. But hey, what you gonna do?
Right.
We're not united, but just united.
So,
Hey, am I can you still see me on video or no?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can see you, yeah.
I don't know how to get back to the Discord drive me crazy. I minimized it so I could put the thing on Facebook, but now I don't know how to get back into the video, but you guys can still see me on the video.
Just,
We can see you, yeah.
just open up the Discord app. If you're in your regular stuff.
Okay, I open up the Discord app and I just see the little bird dancing saying things. Like I'm in a message. I don't see.
You should see somewhere on there where it says either. Oh, yeah, you're on the phone app. So go to.
Yeah, I see the little.
Go to the group. You got to go to our group. Are you in the group?
If that's where you got wrote in there, yeah, I see the little bird dancing that Eugene put in saying thanks.
Let me see something.
And a samurai. Yep, somebody put the IGN thing about Samurai Jack.
All right, because now your video just went away.
Maybe it's taking a while to get me out of there. Like I could click the little bubble that shows all 3 of y'all come up, but I don't see I don't see a thing that says video, like to put me back. Like when I click on the little bubble, it just says switch channel. It said J.A.D.E Empire, switch channels, open Discord. I click open Discord and it pop up with the little, the little messages. Should I just close out and come back in?
Yeah, just do that.
All right.
Now that he's gone, we can talk shit about him. So, well,
I know Florida had a spike in cases.
Florida,
Arizona,
Texas.
Texas.
Texas is one of the worst too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Kim could join us because she could enlighten us on some of that. Governor Murphy talk about rolling back on opening up again.
You know what? And let's talk about that real quick. So, as far as Governor Murphy goes, he's been through this whole COVID thing. Apparently, he's been full of shit. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's extra. And now here we go. All these states hurried up and opened up everything, and their cases are spiking. And Murphy's still sitting here taking his time to reopen. So who looks like an idiot now?
Yeah, no, facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
I feel like out of all these different governors and everybody, he legit made me feel like he was more focused on safely reopening so that, we would be all right, as opposed to gotta make money.
Right.
Because I feel like that's where all the other governors and stuff, that was their whole focus. And the money, the economy.
He even said it. Even when he had met Trump, Trump would have said that he was trying to force his hand to open quickly. And he said he didn't want to open so quickly. He's like,
Right.
there's too many places that's spiking, and you want me to risk my people more lives by just opening just because you want the economy to open back up. The economy ain't gonna do
And I
shit
mean-
if everybody dead.
Exactly. That's what kills me the
Pretty
most.
much.
There's no economy. There's no one
If
to spend
everybody
money.
gets sick, and then it just, everybody gets sick, the hospitals get overloaded again, and then we're like back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching the news this morning. What state was it? There was a state where their hospitals were so full that they were admitting adults into the children's hospital. Like, that's how full
Wow.
the hospitals got. Like, something like 97% of their emergency room beds are full, and like 3 out of the 5 cases are COVID. Like, it's come back with a vengeance, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel like the different states aren't gonna back down. That's the only crazy thing.
Which states?
Well, here's the thing. So Texas and them are already talking about reclosing.
No, Texas
Right.
has already
Because-
closed some stuff, yeah.
So a week
Yeah, they've
ago, the
already
governor
closed some stuff.
a week ago, the governor of Florida, when they had that issue at that one pub in Jacksonville, the governor said that they aren't going to back down, that they're just going to take more provisions. This is his words. He said they're going to take more provisions to protect the people who are more impacted by COVID. But again, that was a week ago. So
Right. And no, and you know what? You're right, because I do remember him saying something like that. And honestly, I think that governor's a douche, because this is what you got to look at. Florida, of all states, right? Let's say Florida's like the vacation state capital
Right.
of America. Like right now, Florida's the hot spot you go. Everybody wants to go to Miami, go to Miami. So you have all the tourists, all the vacationers. But you got to remember too, Florida has always been a retirement community as well.
Right.
So
True.
you have a lot of elderly people there, people that are a
Right.
little older. So you got all these people, the young, traveling down there, not taking precautions, not wearing masks, carrying it and passing it around, and they're legit going to give it to your elderly population because, as he said, they're just going to try to take more provisions to
Right.
keep the people who are more affected safe. But the people who are more affected are those elderly people who you're literally bringing the shit to them. So I'm not saying that the state should have stayed closed, but I'm saying what they should have done is been very strategic about the opening.
Yep.
Right?
So
They should have been more strategic instead of just saying, all right,
Yeah.
this week we're going to open this. They really
Well-
need to drive home the fact that you still need to be wearing masks. You still need to use the 6 feet. You still need to have limited people coming in.
yeah.
In there, dude, soon as everything was open, no mask, no sanitizer, there was no 6-foot rule. The beaches were packed and overloaded, and they didn't do anything to manage that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I went to Delaware for my 5-year anniversary 2 weeks ago, and we specifically went to Delaware because they had more things open. But we went to a bunch of restaurants indoor. You know what happened? We went to a restaurant. One restaurant we went to, they said you have to take a picture of the menu, so you're not touching nothing. Then you had to sign a thing saying that where you had to put your name and everything. Like in the last 2 weeks, were you around somebody that had COVID? In the last 2 weeks, did you get on a plane outside the United States? You had to fill out all this stuff, and then they took your temperature. They put the thing to your forehead and took your temperature. And then on top of that, we were the only people in the restaurant. And then when people came in after us, it was way away from us. Went to another restaurant where the menus was paper, so they was disposable. So that's the stuff that Florida should have been doing. I actually went out last night to Fridays in New Jersey. On 130 in Morgantown, and the menus was paper. And they had it was only outside, and you was way away from people. That's the stuff Florida should have did, Even in the malls. Think about it, I went to the mall in Delaware, and you had a line to get in the stores because they wouldn't let so many people in the stores. So you had to be in a line, and they had to be so much space away from somebody. So that's all the stuff, they should have did.
I'm glad to hear some places are trying.
Yeah. But not for nothing, Delaware, when we was there, the last day we was there was Sunday, and they did say the very next day they were opening, they were going to their next phase. And I was shocked to hear this. They said their next phase is no more 6 feet. I was like, oh, wow, I never thought they would do that. But yeah, they were going to have no more 6 feet. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't think,
And that's crazy. So the no more 6 feet, that should be the last fee.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
That should be the last thing you do. That should stand until they legit believe we really have it under control, not just to reopen.
Mm-hmm.
We should have limited capacity, and keeping social distance at least for another year, at least into the new year,
or at least until there's some form of treatment and or vaccine. Because at the end of the day, I'll be happy to go out and say, if they come out and say, hey, we got a pill, so if you get it, you won't die, but it'll help with the symptoms and you'll still be able to do whatever. I'll be happy with that. I'll be good with that. Because at the very least, that tells me we're making progress, one, and I feel only then will things really start to get back to normal.
Yeah.
Like real normal.
Because then it would just be pretty much like the flu. You get the flu, and then you keep it moving.
And because I saw something on the news a couple nights ago, and they were talking about that after some more studies, they found that people are catching it more from close contacts, as Mike strips on camera. People are catching it more from close contact versus transmission from touching things. But the problem is, and that's where I agree with Franco with the 6 feet, that needs to be the last thing that changes, because people are catching it from face-to-face contact, talking to each other, or literally just talking to each other and being too close to each other.
Too close. And they don't believe in the distancing.
You're too close.
And even with the distancing, a lot of people are still not wearing masks.
Yeah.
You sit there and it's like, okay, if you ain't going to wear a mask, please give me the distance. I say that much. There's people in New York. New York always had the highest cases, and there's still a lot of people in New York that still don't wear masks.
But
and with New York opening back up, with a lot of people that works there that may be going back to work, or some that's not, you got to think about the way they commute. The subways are always going to be packed.
Yeah,
so
man, you can't help it.
Distance on that. But if you're going to be on there, wear a mask. You got people that's traveling in the subways not wearing masks.
And that's the simplest shit. Because I don't know if you fellas seen this, but apparently, I forget what state it was in, but there was some congressional hearing or something where, because apparently they made it mandatory to wear masks.
Florida.
And
Justin, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was Florida. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was
literally
Florida.
on the mic
Go ahead.
talk about masks is out here killing people, and I'm like, what? People are dying. I'm like, what?
Well, you know what's crazy? So speaking of that, so AMC had put out a statement saying they're opening July 15th, and they said they won't make it mandatory to wear masks. People went crazy, and the same day they ended up saying, because they said, here's what they said. They said we won't force people to wear masks because we don't want to be a part of the political thing that's going on. Hours later, they post back up and says we changed our mind. We changed our standings that you will have to. It's mandatory to wear a mask coming in.
And just to touch on something you just said real quick, why is this a political issue? That's what kills me.
And that's the thing.
And here's the mindfuckery. Hold on, let me finish the statement real quick. Here's the mindfuckery. Because we've been living under a similar rule for almost our entire lives. Tell me how many times you've gone to a store and on the window or whatever, there was a sign that said no shirt, no shoes, no service.
No service.
Simple shit.
Hey.
So you add nothing. You add a mask to that, and all of a sudden it's a problem.
Look,
unless you live in Florida.
In the store,
well, okay. Well, we all know Florida's crazy.
But yeah,
that's why Florida man is a thing.
You gotta have a shirt on to come in here. You gotta have shoes to come in here. So
Yeah.
why is it any difference when they say, "Hey, you gotta have"?
Well,
a
you know
mask
what it
to
is?
come on
Yeah.
No, here it is. Because there's a lot of people, I don't want to make it political, but we brought it up. There's a lot of Republicans that don't believe in it, so they feel like their rights are taken away because they feel like it's BS. So for them, they're like, yo, this is some BS. You're taking away my rights. It's like, dude, how long are you going to be in the store? Just put the damn mask on, buy your stuff, and leave.
and
But they're saying that it's against their rights, you know?
Which makes zero
And
sense.
you know what's crazy about that? So, and it's crazy because they're making it into a political stance. This isn't really about politics, man. This is like,
Shouldn't be.
it's about health. It's
this is
about your
basically
well-being.
general social respect. Let's call it social respect. My grandma's like 95 years old. If she catches this shit, it'll probably fucking off her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to say it that way. So if I gotta go out food shopping and I gotta wear a mask so I don't catch it and give it to her, I don't have a fucking problem with that.
Right.
Oh, let me wear a mask so I don't catch it and bring it home and give it to one of my kids. I don't have a problem with that. Or matter of fact, let me make it more simple when I say social respect. I don't catch it and give it to this person's kid that's standing in line behind me. So let me wear a mask.
Seriously. And I don't understand why that's such a hard concept for people to grasp.
It's
like,
an
let's
easy concept to
protect
grasp.
each other.
Well, here's what some people say. Okay, I can answer too. Go ahead. I actually had a long argument. I had an argument with my son. His thing is, it's been proven that the makeshift masks don't protect you from that far away, right? I said, at the end of the day, it's still called precaution. So let's say he was like, yeah, but the makeshift mask only protects you from so far. I said, well, either way, if it could get the person who's 4 feet away, right? But it still might protect you from the person that's 10 feet away that normally you would have got. I said, either way, it's saving, it's protecting somebody. And I feel like some people are like, well, it don't protect everybody, so what's the point? Like, it is a precaution. It's still protecting some people. Like, that's like we might as well get rid of the yellow light, right? All we need is just red and green, right? Because
red and green.
Get to slow down. No, it's a precaution.
Yep.
You know? But that's some people's stance. That's why, because some people feel it's not doing nothing anyway. It is, but yeah, is it like the really good mask? No, it's not. You know what they call the really good mask? It's like a number or something.
The N95.
Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, it's not an N95, but it's still doing something.
I'm gonna tell you, I had this same little debate with my cousin and them last night, and it was stupid because they got a couple people that don't believe in wearing a mask and shit. And I said to them like this: it may not make sense to everybody, but it's gonna make sense to some. If you want protection, you're gonna do what you feel is right to protect it by you. A condom is not gonna protect you from getting shot by a gun, but it can reduce your chances of catching the STD. So, regardless of how you see it, the mask is not going to protect you all 100%, but it will reduce the chances of you giving it to somebody else.
And that's definitely better than nothing. Something is always better than nothing.
Yes.
Y'all always want to be hood and talk this and that. Oh, well, I can walk down the street and I can wear a vest. Guess what? You wear a vest, it may reduce your chances of getting killed, but it ain't going to do shit if you get shot in the head.
Facts.
That's right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. People are reckless by natural instinct because
Default.
a lot of times people think that they are untouchable. If you have something happen to you so many times and you don't break down for it, guess what? You're going to feel, oh, fuck it, I'm invulnerable. I can handle this. That ain't nothing. But it's not necessarily about you. It's about the person that's next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Franco's illustration. Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people are, especially in Texas, in Florida, in Arizona, New York. You got all these people that say, well, I lived through this so far. I could survive this. Well, you probably can. But shit, who's to say I can survive it?
Yeah.
Shit,
especially you. Especially, I'm surprised you still here.
Look,
I'm just saying.
You know what? Fuck that. Because in all seriousness, especially me.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere, and I know Justin don't go nowhere.
Hell no.
Justin, trust me. Hey, Justin, trust me. Your immune system 80 times stronger than his. I thought Mike is a rap, but just saying.
Yeah, when I do go out, I have on like 2 masks. I wear 2 masks when I go out. I have an N95 mask, and I have another mask that has that little ventilator on the side. So if I do go, that's what I wear. And I would sit around. Well, except when I go over done in them house, because I know they don't really go nowhere either. But if I'm going to the store or somewhere, yeah, that's what I wear. And I'm coming right back in the house. And when I do, I'm drinking me some orange juice, some orange lemon water, and I'm taking me a sip of cough syrup, just in case.
Hey, listen, it's precautions, right?
He's taking a sip of cough syrup just because Mike is addicted to cough syrup. Listen, not that.
Mike, he gets
Okay.
home, pours in
Mister,
a
I
cup,
need NyQuil every night.
a scissor.
But just to kind of tack on to what y'all was saying, I think it's real interesting listening to what Anthony just said, how he, the conversation he had with his son, because I think, Anthony, that's a really good example. That's like a microscopic example of the bigger conversation.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think you're dead on, and I think that's really what the big conversation is. It's more along one of those things though, where like your son was doing, he's looking for an excuse to justify not wearing a mask.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas if you take it on a broader picture, they literally have made it political so they can use an excuse not to wear a mask. And it's funny that if you really look at it, it's almost like it's the Republicans versus the Democrats. If you
Yeah.
look at how everything was going with the mask issue, and not to bring the Black Lives Matter thing in there, but I want to use this as an example, where you had the Democrats who decided to wear, they had on masks, they had on African related garb,
Fucking Jesus!
and
why?
they came out and they came out and they kneeled on the Senate floor, I believe it was, or in Congress or one or the other. But they kneeled. They took it was pictures and everything taken of them kneeling, and they kneeled in solidarity with the George Floyd murder and the protest, right? So I was like, at first I saw that and I was like, yo, that's pretty cool, right? Then I seen the flip side of it, which was all Republicans, right? Who were all like, oh, this is bullshit. They're being unprofessional. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. And I was like, wait a minute. All those Democrats got on these masks and all the Republicans don't have on masks. All the Democrats are saying, hey, we should really support this movement that's going on. It's messed up. All the Republicans are saying, no, we shouldn't. They turn things into political arguments that don't need to be political. This situation that we're going through right now is a simple matter of human decency.
Yes.
Right? If you don't want to wear a mask because you don't believe in wearing a mask, cool. Don't wear a mask when you're out and about or whatever. But if you go into a public place
Yes.
that other people are going to frequent, like you walk in a supermarket and they say, hey, we need you to wear a mask to come here for safety precautions.
Oh man, I got one.
Just wear the mask.
Yeah.
I
Be a
got
decent
one.
human
Wear the
being.
mask.
Look. Remember how we used to go out to the club?
One more thing before Mike jump in here. One more thing, Mike, before you jump in here, because you kept cutting me off anyway. One more thing to go with what Anthony said. So when his son went into the whole thing about, oh, the handmade masks don't protect you like the N95 masks, That's true. And the cool part about that is if your son wanted to stay as informed as he was trying to sound, he would have also pointed out that they flat out told you from the beginning that the N95 masks are the masks they what's
recommend.
They recommend. There we go. I'll be losing the words I want. The N95 masks are the masks they recommend because they're going to give you the most protection, but they won't protect you with 100%, right? Then they also said any type of face covering, cloth, whatever, will help minimize, not protect, minimize the spread of it. Because if you cough while you have these handmade masks on, instead of you projecting it forward and aerosolizing it when you cough forward, your cough is going to go into that mask and reflect backwards. So really, all you're doing is protecting other people from possible carrying.
Exactly.
So, that's the thing. Like, people will get informed, but only for what they want. They only want to pay attention to the part that's going to benefit them.
Right.
Like if I put out something right now that says, "Hey, you have to wear a mask," or you don't have to wear a mask anymore unless you're going into a public place. Everybody who's against wearing masks will only hear you don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Can y'all still hear me?
You can now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear y'all. That somebody called. That's saying nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off to go pay attention to. I just got a call from, but I'm gonna try to come back. All right.
All right, man.
Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for popping in.
Hold on, how do I get out of this thing?
Just
Oh,
hang
there
up,
we go.
stupid. He's trying to figure out how to get off the call.
Yeah.
He is. But yeah, so like that's what it really comes down to is everything's being played into politics. But unless one of y'all got something else to say specifically in that section,
I agree.
I know this is the topic, but maybe I really want to get to the WWE portion of it.
Absolutely.
And really talk
that's
about that.
perfect, actually. Let's definitely talk about that because I don't know very much about it. You know more. I heard a little from Julian. Unfortunately, he's not with us today, but he's the one who basically told me at least 3 WWE superstars were diagnosed with it. He told me that Renee Young was definitely one of them, and I wasn't sure of the other 2. I don't know if any in-ring talent have it. I would certainly hope not. But what's your insight on that, Franco?
So I did catch a little bit of it. It was weird though because I caught it kind of like backtracking. Like I heard that developmental talent had tested positive. I know it was at least one of them tested positive, and then the next thing I heard was John Moxley was out, but he was possibly coming back for Fyter Fest, and his statement was he had been in close contact with somebody who had come into contact with someone who had tested positive. And then behind that, Renee Young put out the statement that she tested positive for COVID-19, and she had just happened to be at the tapings in the developmental center during the time that the person on the developmental talent staff tested positive for COVID-19. Now, as far as how many, I heard 2 other than Renee. So I'm thinking it's definitely tied into the fact that they kind of were like trickling in more people to the crowd. Because what I found out was apparently they were using developmental staff, and then they also let in a few family and family friends.
Oh Lord!
So they were trying to trickle in a bigger audience, and lo and behold, boom, we get a positive test.
Wow.
So now, as far as how that's going to impact the business, they're waiting to see because apparently a lot of the talent are not happy with the way WWE is handling it because apparently they didn't let everybody know right away.
Wow.
So apparently this developmental talent tested positive and they waited before they told everybody. So, we got Roman who's out because of it. He won't.
Right.
He's not appearing because of his compromised immune system because of his cancer. Sami Zayn has opted not to, do TV tapings just for his personal reasons, family and stuff like that.
Last thing I read with Sami Zayn, real quick. Last thing I read with him was his issue was travel restrictions. I don't know if it's anything beyond that. Maybe it is, but that's the last thing I read.
Heard.
Yeah, give me a little bit because I'm on a call right now.
Yeah, I heard his was travel restrictions.
Right, travel restrictions and stuff like that. And then on top of that, Sammy still lives in Canada from what I understand.
Right.
So when they're off, he goes home. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, well, fuck. So I can't go home. So he just stayed home.
Yeah,
which
makes
to
sense.
me, it makes sense. And what's crazy is that WWE gave that talent that they said they're not going to hold it against anybody who does this. But you can kind of, I feel like Sammy, they're going to hold it against. Roman, they're not, because Roman's in a position where they're not going to hold it against him. Sammy's not in that position yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had just started getting like work and getting the push. You see, they did the interim title thing, which I agree with the interim title change, like having another champion, just like they did with the Cruiserweight Championship.
Right.
Because of travel restrictions. But I believe it should be interim. They should be interim champions. And then when the actual person who's the champion comes back, they should have to fight to see who's the actual champ.
Yeah, let them bang it out.
It should be the interim champion versus the champion. So I want to see how that development plays out. The other thing is, though, now they're nervous that we're going to lose some top talent to this.
Oh, I can almost guarantee that's going to happen.
What the rumblings are is Seth Rollins. Because, you know, now Becky's home pregnant. He don't want to take that shit home to her.
Right, exactly.
So Seth may back out. I've heard, but I don't know if it's official. But somebody was saying Kevin Owens was like, I'm done.
Wow.
So right there, you're losing Seth and Kevin. Who was the other person they talked about? I know it was Seth and Kevin, and it was one more person that's like kind of an upper card person. And then the other thing is AJ Styles is really big about his family. You just moved AJ back to SmackDown because you needed that little star power.
Yeah.
Imagine if AJ fucking says, hey, I'm staying home. We're done. Like, who are they going to call on?
This is what they need to do. They need to load in WWE 2K 2020 and start simulating matches.
I mean, they tried some dumb foolishness like that before. I watched maybe 3 minutes of it, where they actually were simulating matches and it was like Sasha and Bayley with one of the commentators. And I was like, nah, I ain't watching this shit.
Yeah, hell no. That's just god awful.
They literally simulated the Boneyard match. It was like, who you think is going to win? I was like, I'm done. I'm all checked out on this.
So true.
Vince McMahon is apparently mad at Renee Young for revealing she had COVID.
Oh, well.
I mean, I don't know if they're mad. I would hope not.
No, there's literally an article saying WWE reportedly unhappy with Renee Young for revealing her COVID-19 result on Twitter.
That's nuts if that's really the case.
They can't be mad at that shit.
Listen, they're going to be mad at her, but you had to put out the statement that one of your talent tested positive for it. Renee didn't reveal that she had tested positive for it until after they put out the statement that the developmental talent tested positive. So, WWE is going to they need to walk a real thin line with this, because if they really fucking sit here and be mad that people are revealing this and doing what they got to do to take care of themselves, they're going to have their wrestlers are going to walk on them.
Yeah, really.
Because
I just find it hilarious
to the point where a lot of them feel like they're not being taken care of the best way possible.
They're not being taken serious.
Because not even just taken serious, but not being taken care of.
Yeah, not being protected.
Because you're hiding the fact that people are testing positive and you don't want to say anything. And that's bullshit.
Like, even her
I
husband
think that's
pulled out
bullshit
of
on
matches.
WWE's part. What's up?
But even Miss Young's husband pulled out of matches because of it. Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah. So right before you popped in, I was saying that they had put out a statement. AEW put out a statement saying that the champion Jon Moxley will not be appearing at tapings for the foreseeable future. He should be back for their pay-per-view. But his reason in his statement, which I thought was really good by AEW, was that he specifically said he had been in close contact with someone who had been in contact with a positive tested person, which turned out to be Renee, because WWE had put out that the developmental staff, I think it was two people in developmental had tested positive, and then Renee put out that she had also tested positive a few days later. So think about this. Renee Young doesn't do anything but WWE,
Right.
right? So she's at these tapings. She's being exposed to other people at the tapings. That's where she contracted it at. For them to get pissed off at her, because now you got to think about this. They're trying to keep it quiet with Renee and John. You could literally cause an infection between two companies.
Two companies.
Yeah, legit.
Yep.
If Renee didn't say anything, and John kept going to work, and then he tested positive, and then he gives it to people in AEW, like.
Now you got two company franchises.
Yep.
With full cases of COVID on their staff and workers and employees. Guess what? Ain't nobody gonna be in business.
Yeah, but I still find it funny because I'm reading it in Sports Illustrated, and they're like, but the WWE is still planning on continuing taping.
Which is retarded.
Yep. They're not planning on stopping taping. They postponed the one taping.
So it's like, okay, we've got these confirmed people with COVID. We don't know necessarily who or what they may have come in contact with that we're going to be moving and taking with us from place to place.
Exactly.
But we still going to keep taping.
Yeah,
we still going to keep taping.
I feel like
basically we're going to try to do our best and possibly lightly wipe it down with some Lysol wipes.
I feel like.
And then.
Go ahead, Drew.
And then it's still not gonna fix anything because you're not actually caring about the people or the outbreak. You're just like, but my money though.
Right, and that's what kills me about WWE because I understand
the things that I used to light it.
I understand it's a show and it's scripted and shit, but at the same time, I feel like, especially now more than ever, they could just show some solidarity for people. Like, we all know why Roman isn't there.
The little things look like, hey.
So they could easily be like, hey, in this crisis, we want to thank you for understanding. Unfortunately, Roman will not be here because of such and such. They could be like, unfortunately, like, show these people some respect because they're still showing up for you during one of the worst times in our history. Like, instead of being mad at Renee Young, they could be like, unfortunately, Renee Young has come down with COVID. We wish her the best. We wish her well. We hope to see her back soon, here and healthy. Instead of like brushing the shit under, like we all know the shit happened. And
you can't keep everybody from. You could try,
right,
as best as they could, but it's still you got that chance that somebody's going to run into it. So if they do, you should at least give them that compassion.
Thank you. And I think at the end of the day, it would actually benefit WWE to show some solidarity to their superstars.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. Again, you talking about Vince though, and Vince only worries about the almighty dollar.
Unfortunately, that's true.
So Vince get it.
It's funny, a little bit off topic, but it's about wrestling. I was watching something recently on YouTube talking about a shoot that Paul Heyman did on Vince during a Survivor Series in like '88 or something like that. It was either 88 or 90. I think it was 98. And how it was like basically Paul Heyman, Shane, and Stephanie were basically versus Vince for ownership of WWE.
Yeah, when they did the invasion angle.
Yeah, and it was like this whole behind the scenes thing. So Paul Heyman was sitting at like a panel, and he was talking about how Vince, I'm going to say some crazy shit, and Vince was saying, just draw me money. He's like, all right, I'm letting you know I'm going to say some crazy shit.
I watch a lot of those.
He was like, just draw me money.
And I remember that shoot. I remember when he did the shoot. And it was pretty cool because he gave you like a real insight to the way they think about stuff. And he literally said, he said that Michael B. Hayes turned to Vince and said, you want somebody to do a shoot on you? Well, this motherfucker over here rip your asshole yay wide.
Yep.
And then the crazy part was he had somebody else do a shoot, and it was kind of like, it was like a lackluster thing. And he said, literally sitting there on the plane, Vince is eating his fruit cup or whatever,
yeah,
and turns to Paul and says, hey, he said, hey, buddy. No, he goes, hey, pal. You want to rip me an asshole yay wide?
Yeah.
And he told Vince, he's like, I mean, if you want me to, he's like, it's gonna draw me money. He's like, will you draw me money? He goes, yeah. He's like, do it. And then he asked him multiple times, he said, Vince, I'm gonna say some shit in here, that's gonna be kind of crazy. He goes, will it draw me money? And he was like, yeah, do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then he said, right before he went out, he said he was walking through Gorilla. Vince was in Gorilla. And he said, Vince, are you sure you don't want to hear anything that I'm planning on saying? And whatever I say, you're not going to hold it against me. Vince was like, is it going to draw me money? And he goes, yeah. He's like, I don't care. Say what you want. Draw me money. And he says he goes out there and he did the shoot. And he said shit that nobody has ever said about Vince to Vince's face. And you know what? He drew him money.
Yep.
And Vince was happy.
Yep.
And what was cool about it was he explained, like, the difference between a shoot and somebody just talking shit is a shoot is a vehicle to progress the story.
Right.
Yes, you're talking about real shit, but can you make people want to come watch show?
Buy a ticket.
He said he could have did a shoot. Yeah, he could have did a shoot and made people say, yeah, man, fuck WWE. I ain't watching that shit no more. He said, but instead, he shot on Vince and shot on the WWE in a manner that people wanted to buy tickets to watch the WCW and the ECW people kick the shit out of the WWE people.
Yep.
Which was cool. So, and it's sad because it kind of does play into it that as long as it's going to draw Vince money, he kind of doesn't care about what is going on around.
Exactly. That's the exact point I was trying to get to. As long as you drawing him money, he really don't give a shit.
He don't care. Oh, you caught COVID-19, but you can still wrestle? You're going to draw me some money? Good, still wrestle. Get everybody else sick still.
Yep.
That's how Vince be moving. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty
so
sad.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me
starts getting sued for hazardous work environment.
He's an ass.
Well, that's the problem. Here's the thing. WWE is a pretty much Republican-run organization. So when Donald Trump was writing up legislation or having legislation written up to where you couldn't basically sue a company that was working during COVID if you caught COVID.
Still strikes me as the stupidest thing ever.
But that's what it happens.
Yep, that's what he did though.
So you can't sue him. It's pretty much at your own recognizance.
And again, as this progresses, the more I agree with my cousin. It seems like COVID is a disease meant to try to knock out the old white demographic that's controlling everything. Unfortunately, it's hitting everybody else instead.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, shit, there's plenty of old white people that run shit that if they caught COVID. Some people wouldn't be mad at it.
I want to say old white. I say older in general, or anybody with a weak immune system.
But yeah, I heard some people calling it the boomer disease.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Like whatever.
Yeah, because apparently I heard that one too.
Those college kids.
They're idiots.
Yeah,
I
kids that
just
just got out of mom and daddy's house in college.
I just want to say, here and now, I do wish Renee Young well. I wish anyone working in that industry, working with other people who possibly could be having it, I wish them well, and I hope they get well soon because I enjoy wrestling. And I'm not the hugest wrestling fan, but I definitely enjoy it, and I'm glad they're willing to work. But if they stop working tomorrow, guess what? I'll be like, bet, good, because
I'm not mad.
I'd rather them come back and be healthy than we lose a bunch of people over someone else's greed.
Right.
I cannot be mad at anybody during this state and time if they choose their health over wealth.
Yeah.
I can't. If you decide, I don't even care. If I was a business owner, I don't care how bad my business is plummeting. If you choose to stay home, go ahead. Because if you die, I ain't gonna have nobody to work that business anyway.
Facts.
The same way that I work myself to get it back up there, I can do it again. But it's I can't do it if I don't have nobody to work for me.
Right.
I can't. So if everybody's dropping, what benefit am I getting from it?
True indeed,
Right.
Mike. True indeed. Like I said,
Like, you
I
hit
wish
it dead
them
on.
well.
Like, I'd have been perfectly fine with them saying, hey, listen, due to the whole pandemic, we're going to have very limited tapings and different stuff like that. We're not going to expose our superstars on a regular basis. They could do rerun shows. They could do greatest hits. I would watch that. I probably would watch that.
Oh, man. Do a great
like, you know what they could
era?
You know what they could do on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown that would get me to watch it right now? They could do like behind the scenes stuff, like talk about stories of, you know, big matches and stuff like that. I'd probably tune in and watch that.
I can
almost
guarantee they have
putting their life on the line every week.
I can almost guarantee they have enough footage in the can to last out COVID.
Dude, they could have did what we're doing right now and started a podcast.
Yep.
And literally been broadcasting that.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Yeah. Look, like I said, with the Undertaker, the last ride, they could have had that going. That would have gave something.
Look, matter of fact, here, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this idea out there, right? And maybe through the universe, this will make its way to WWE. But if you want to get some ratings on Raw and SmackDown, and you want to limit your superstars' exposure to possibly catching this virus, how about you run a series of what happens when the cameras go off and what happens at live events that we don't get to see on TV.
That would be
like that little cool shit. Like when they tried to get the Undertaker to do the spin-a-rooney. All that shit happened after the cameras, after the tapings were over. Like, they still record everything, but it's not stuff that get broadcast.
That would be so sick.
When you go to live events, there's always shit that goes down at live events that does not happen on TV taping.
Yeah,
and they
broadcast
got that
some
shit
of these
on
dark
recorded.
matches. They
Show
still
that
tape
shit.
them.
Yeah, like when AJ won, I think he won a United States title at a live event that wasn't a televised event. Remember that? Like a couple years back when he won it? Show that shit.
Yeah, give us that. Give us that. Protect
Actually,
these
show that match and show that the footage the way it was recorded so it looks like it was just recorded off to the side. Show that shit. I'd watch that.
Yeah. I'd rather watch that than have the talent that I enjoy put in danger.
Yeah, show that. I would love that. So WWE, there's an idea. You can have it. Hopefully you get some ratings if you use it.
You damn sure gonna get some ratings.
Just saying.
Money?
And draw me money.
Let's do it.
All right, fellas. I think I'm gonna call it here. Good talk. We had like 6 people in here at one point, so that was up. Watching.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. This has been the Mighty Jade Empire podcast. I'm DJ Justin Love. Guys, if you want to introduce, if you want to let the people know who you are before we take off, I'd appreciate it.
So I'm Franco. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at NittyMac. You can find me on Facebook at Franco. I'm not going to say the whole name because it's fucking hilarious right now. Okay. Franco Kirk Lazarus Roberts on Facebook. And yes, I'm a lead former motherfucker. And eventually I will start YouTubing and streaming Nitty Mac. But just to put this out there, I'm probably going to bring this up next week. Or on the next podcast, if it's not a specific topic, since it's on wrestling. We're going to talk about all the allegations of misconduct and stuff that's coming up.
Oh, my God.
I think it's a real interesting development. It's harkening back to the Me Too movement, but specifically focusing on wrestling right now. And I just really wanted to probably touch base on it and go into it because I have my own opinion on a lot of these allegations that people may end up construing as victim shaming or victim blaming, but it's not that. It's just I just feel like the timing is really weird and ironic, just like I felt with a lot of the Me Too movement. So I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully we can touch base on that on the next podcast.
Cool. Definitely.
You can find me, Shin Marvel, Michael Trammell, Marvel Wonders, at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Twitter. All 3 names, one or the other.
Oh yeah, I have a Snapchat too. I just don't know the name yet. I'll let y'all know.
Where can the people find you at, Trill?
I'm True CSW. You can find me on PSN and Twitch Fridays and Saturdays, and whenever J-Rock's on or whenever I feel like it. So check back frequently.
All right. Once again, I'm DJ Justin Love. You can find me on PlayStation, DJ_Justin_Love. You can find me on almost all social media at DJ Justin Love, and you can find me here on the Mighty Jade Empire podcast. We want to thank you for being here. All right. You guys take care. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And now, your mama knows.